top part. And for that, I also start with a simple plane. Okay, a plane here in the front. Now I push my image plane to, because I don't see here my object, so my image plane is in the way. This was that one. I just push it down. Yep. Okay, you see it when you move it. So my plane, I will do just 3 divisions, and with these 3 divisions I try to create my first shapes here. Actually, I hide my shoe here on my sole. So this will be now a little bit tricky. I have to form this already down. Okay, also here. So that's the reason why you should start with as less geometry as possible. Okay, because otherwise you will make your life way too hard. I will also try to get this shape here in. Actually, I try to. I will build the gray part. Yeah, the green one will be created later. But what I do is I try to follow already the lines of the green part, and so I need more edge loops. Try to be what's the word for schräg? Don't know. Oh my god, too bad in English. I need more edge loops. Of course, I need here another one, and also in this direction. So now I push these up again a little bit. So when you use too much edge loops too early, you will get confused quite easily. So try to be sure that your shape is nice with less as much edges. Okay. Of course, this shoe isn't symmetrically, okay? So when you get too much messed up here with your points, that's I can't give you a good solution to don't have this problem, because you have to manage it here in this step. Okay, try to get here around. I work here in a combination of all the views, okay? I always check in the perspective. Oh my god, is here something looking quite ugly, as for example here. I have to push them up and check if they're just in one line. I know this won't be easy. Okay. I think it's not too bad for the first part here. And then I take here one side and extrude my edges. Okay. Extrude my edges. Try to position them in all the views. Try to position the vertices to get here around. Okay, push them. Be sure. Okay, where should the lines follow? You have to check all the views all the time. If the points are in the right position here, and also don't look too ugly here. Okay. Then I will do it on the other side also. But first I check here, get a little bit more in the front. Oh, here I'm too deep, you see it. Always check in the perspective if your shape is still okay. Otherwise you will get a lot of problems. Also here it's not perfect, so push it up. Okay, now I take my edges and extrude them and reposition my vertices. Okay, here I can't see it that way, how it looks on the other side. Okay, so I just have to imagine more or less. Okay, that's too deep. Okay. But I think I will do one side, and even if it's not symmetrically, I will reuse it then later on. So I will concentrate on the first side. So now we have to get up. Okay. Do another extrude. So push them up here. I still try to follow the edge flow, and you have to check it in all in all views. Yeah. Save it. Sometimes do another extrude. I guess I will need here then an edge loop. Yeah, I will insert one manually from here. Okay, I don't need that the whole way round, so I give it here a little bit more shape. Okay, then another extrude. So I have to finish here the lines. Now here the two images doesn't fit perfectly to each other, so I just try to decide on which side I will go. And actually I will end here and just take these two edges and extrude them last time. Okay, I will do it a little bit bigger, because afterwards I will model the gray part, and this will oh, I have to check my view here. When you work here with just one view and not all the three, you will create a totally mess. So be sure that every step, every extrusion is fine in every view. So the next step I will do is I will copy this part of the geometry to the other side, but I don't use mirroring in this way. I just want to show you another way of extracting a part of the geometry and copy it to the other and then connect it again. It's also a way. So I just select these faces here, and then I go to Mesh, Extract. Okay, now these two parts of the geometry are separated. Now I can copy this part. I select it, press Ctrl D. Okay, move it. And what I can do is just I scale it to the other direction. What you can do is, for perfectly scale, go here in the channel box, scale set, -1. Now it is scaled. Of course it don't fit because it isn't symmetrically. And you see the geometry changed to black because the inner side is now the outer. So just go to normals, reverse, and everything is fine again. So I have to do a little bit of modification here. What I do is I try to scale it because it isn't. So actually I don't need this perfect scale because it is tighter anyway. I just check if it fits here quite well, and I also scale it in this direction. Okay, and I also scale it here a little bit. Okay, I don't have view from the other side, so it might be a little bit difficult. But now I try to modify these and connect these two parts together, and I also reconnect the separated one. Okay, go to Mesh, Combine, and now you see here it isn't, the vertices aren't connected anymore, so I just select all of them, open up the merge options, check a threshold of 001, merge. Okay, now these are connected again, and I do the same here. Mesh, combine. Oh, my geometry got black again, so just take my vertices or my faces, normals, reverse. Okay, and now I connect them manually. For that I raise the threshold, and so I connect these points together. Okay, now I have connected geometry, and what I do is now try to form the shape, reform the shape actually. So okay, I check here in the perspective. I guess these points should go outside. Well, I think it's not too bad. Okay. Perfect. Save. I'll continue with doing the heel part here. I will do this as a separate geometry. Of course, you can do it, do the whole shoe in one geometry, but I just want to show you, okay, how could I start here with this round form. For example, I could start with a cylinder. Okay, I change the subdivisions. I scale it. Okay, then I get one or two subdivisions here in the height. Okay, then I delete here all the inner parts. Okay, and this part in front, don't need that. So I have a nice curvy form here, and I can now change my vertices. I guess I could do a mirroring here because it's nearly symmetrically. So I also delete this side, and so it's easier for me to do the editing of the points. So I try to follow the green lines here. Also here with this. This will help me. It's always advisable to try to follow given guidelines. So I'm not sure if... Okay, I have to check here also the form. Where do my... So the bottom lines should be here. Here it is also that the top image doesn't fit perfectly to the other one, so I just have to decide, okay, where do my lines go? Just take something in the middle. Okay, these points have to be here inside. Also this one, and that one should be more outside. Okay, always check in all the views. Is the shape okay? So I will push it out again. And this point should be a little bit more inside. Okay. Always be sure that you see all the lines here in the top view, so they give a perfect or a nice shape here in the perspective. Now we'll go on with some extruding as we know it already. Okay, take my edges, extrude them, push them to the front, scale it. No, actually I should not go too far, because here I might need, yeah. So that should be fine. Now we'll go on with another extrude. Now push it here right to the front. So check here. Okay. Then I will extrude the dark gray part. So I'll take also these, okay. Extrude. Push it up. Then tune the vertices. Now I should connect actually to the other geometry. So let's check where I am here. I know this part isn't easy. What you can do, you can also use point snapping. Okay, I just pressed C on the keyboard and took the middle mouse button. I'm in the move mode, and then I can snap to the point here, so it is a little bit easier for me. Actually, I don't need this here, so get rid of it. Okay, then for example I could also snap this point, press C, snap it here. Okay. And actually it might be good when I push up these vertices so that I connect, or I could snap here. It depends on your geometry you have. Okay. Then I'll go on. So check. I have to go here inside. Yeah. Then I take these two edges, extrude them, scale it. Do it another time. Oh, I destroyed my middle line, so I take all of them and scale in one direction. Just move it here. Actually, I'm too deep inside here, so I should, because my image just doesn't fit perfectly, just put them a little bit more outwards. That's the problem when you don't have perfectly fitting images. Now I took somewhere the middle way between these two. Then I will take these two edges, do an extrusion. I guess I will, so I have to push it inside, but I reconnect these two with merging. Okay. And I do also point snapping here again. Now I have this edge, extrude that one. I might do it in 2 steps. So push it inside. Do I have a point here? Yeah. I could connect them actually. So take the inner one. Okay. I don't connect them actually, but just do the point snapping. And now I extrude last time. you see I have a lot of geometry coming up here, but I leave the geometry in that way because it is separated. I don't need that much. I just take this vertex and snap it. Snapping doesn't work, so just move yourself around a little bit. Yeah, now it works. And also take this point and snap it here. So I have my two separate parts, and I guess, yeah, it's not too bad. And what I can do is I mirror this part to the other side. Now I take the mesh mirror geometry. Be sure that here this mirroring line is straight, otherwise go into the vertex mode and scale it so that everything is fine on one line. And I have to mirror it in minus Z mirror. Yeah. You see, here I don't want a connection, and it always happens when you mirror that some of the vertices are connected. So always check in the poly mirror and decrease the merge threshold. Okay. So I have to rework the other side. So I take all the parts and scale it because we just have a narrow space here. And what I do is, so I just switch on my wireframe unshaded, and so it's easier for me to do the point snapping. Oh, just snapped somewhere completely wrong. When I give the thickness to the geometry, I have to rework these parts anyway. So, first big step is done here. Should save it actually as a separate scene. Okay. In the next step, I will show you two different methods of how we can do these layered fabrics. Because here you see, okay, the green parts are layered on the gray one, and here we have also different parts, the dark gray and the light gray. So they are all layered on each other. Here in the front part, I will show you how we can do this with one geometry, and here in the back I show you just how we can split up the geometry and then do it separately. Both ways are fine, and you can decide afterwards which one is better for you. What I do is, here in the first step, I give the geometry thickness. I won't do this on the other part. I will explain you later why. But here in this step, it is fine if we do it now. Okay, so I take all the faces and go to extrude. Then I show where does the manipulator appear, and don't change everything. Take the manipulator where it is, and then take, most of the time it's the blue one, and pull it out a little bit. Okay, now we have thickness, a very thin one. Okay, I extrude a little bit more. Okay, I think that's fine. And now I take the yellow parts here. That's the reason why I prepared the geometry in that way, that they follow the parts. Okay, I have to, oh, where is my, okay, also take all this and here that way around. Okay, okay, here in the front, I just skip that detail. You should do it, of course, but here you have to prepare the geometry first so that you can do this. I can do it afterwards already also, but just to show you how the process is. Then go to Extrude again, search again the manipulator, just pull it outside, and I activate my square to scale it also just a little bit. Okay, and I do a second extrude so that it gets a little bit sharper. Yeah. Just switch off my wireframe unshaded. And now you have a layered piece of fabric. To get it even more sharper, what you can do is take the whole edge line here. Okay. It breaks. So now I selected all the faces, and you can do, if you want, another extrude. Search the manipulator again, and now I push it inside, and so it's even getting harder. I don't want this. I'm happy with the shape as it is. And so it's easy for me also to color this later on. So that's the first method of doing this layered fabric. So here in the back, I will split up my geometry, and I do the process of giving the geometry thickness later and not here in the first step. What I do is I take the faces of the green lines here. Okay, took them all the way around. Perfect. And then I do the extracting again, mesh extract. Okay, now I have a separate part here and separate there. And what I can do, for example, here, this part of the layering, that the dark gray is tighter. So I do a second separation, this part from that one. And so I take vertices, oh, too much. And now I do another extract. Okay, and now I can take this part and scale it. I just push it inside and I do a scaling a little bit. So that it is hidden under the other. And I also do some kind of extracting a second time. I insert an edge loop because I want to split also the light gray part. Oops. So be sure that, yeah, also the other side is fine. Then I do, oh, I have to check here. It's not perfect. Now I do another extracting. Mesh, extract. Take this part, scale it so that's hiding again under the other. Okay, just have to tune a little bit here. The vertices. Yeah. And okay, now I think it's time to give them thickness. I do it separately. I take this part, take all the faces, extrude them. Next one, take all the faces, extrude, and the last one, take all the faces and extrude. So let's check. Okay, in the smooth mode, I see I have to scale. Actually, maybe we don't need scaling, we just need more edge loops. But I do here at the back, the last one, before I do the... So this one I do a little bit thicker. Okay. And now it's time for edge loops so that it isn't... Also scale it a little bit. Now insert edge loops, namely here and here. Now the geometry stays better in shape, and also here and here. Also here in the bottom. Okay. I keep going on with inserting edge loops here and here. Then okay, when I don't see the geometry, just push it out. Give them edge loops here and here. And I guess I also need some here. So push it inside again. Yeah. Not too bad, but I have to scale it anyway a little bit. So you can do this. I also will do this here on my own. But so you can decide. Of course, you might have a little bit more free working to sticking the parts under or over each other. Here you don't have the problem, so might be this the easier solution, but you can also do it in that way. Okay. I just keep on tuning. I already fixed here the back parts. I scaled them a little bit. And now I just keep on tuning. So I won't explain too much. You just can keep watching. Just do this part a little bit thicker here. I try to fix the forms so that they cut each other. Don't take that one. Don't work too much in the smooth mode. Of course I use it here, but always just to check, okay, is everything still fine? Do they connect? And here in these areas, just take different parts of the geometry, move and scale so that the gaps between the geometry are closing step by step. Don't destroy the geometry too much, as I just did here. So I guess I need here on the bottom side also some edge loops from the other side. And might take these vertices, push them in. And I guess I have to check with the sole anyway. Yeah, okay. I think it's time to connect with the sole. So here it is. Shift H. Oh, my sole is somewhere else than it should be, so just move it. And now I have to do a little rework, I guess. Here in the back it isn't too bad, but here in front I check my, yeah, I have to pull down all the geometry here. So I do this quite quick and I won't do any explanation. It's just now the tuning steps.